Welcome back to 3 Day Weekend. We have a different machine today. An old Kodiak 400. Much like the one that I have, but I think this one's a year or two newer. 2002 or 3 maybe. I forget. Doesn't run. Friend just dropped off, says, I don't know, it doesn't start. We pulled in the garage and that's all I've done with it. I can tell you, it stinks of gas. We're going to try to figure out what's going on. The seat has been pulled off, the intake has been pulled off, gas smell is coming out of the intake, so I think it's just been cranked for a while. I noticed we're missing a cap on the coolant reservoir, and we might be missing some clamps on the fuel there. No obvious reason why it won't start. He says it cranks, but won't fire. So let's see what she does when I crank it. Uh-oh. No compression. I think it's been cranked a lot, so I've got a battery tender hook onto it. But listen to the sound of the intake from there when I crank it. I hear air rushing. So I think our no compression is a stuck open intake valve. That's where I'm gonna chase after. It's been a while since I've been inside one of these machines, but I think I remember, you know, the rotor and everything being here, but then there's a gear with a Woodruff key in it, and I think that gear drives the cam chain, because there's a tensioner, so there's a cam chain right here. So I'm thinking either chain is broke, or maybe that Woodruff key is snapped off inside this cover. Either way, I have to remove all this stuff. Well, that was messy. Excuse the noise in the background. They're out there playing basketball or something. I'm gonna hit the starter, and this should not turn, I believe, if it's a broken Woodruff. And it turns. Oh, I can see the chain. The chain is not turning. We have a broken cam chain, probably. Most likely. That'll do it.
I'll do it.
We gotta pop this off in order to see what's going on behind her. So here we go. Got it. That's the one-way bearing. That's the Woodruff key I was hoping was broke, but it's not. Jeez, I've never had a Woodruff key stuck in there so bad. We're gonna pull this guy off of there. Well, there's your problem. This should be one piece with this, and it's not. It's in two pieces. But that's definitive. We know exactly why it doesn't run.
Right.
Yeah. Oil and everything appears to be in good shape. I don't know why it broke. The tensioners wear out and chains get sloppy, but never one broken. Hopefully I don't know if this is an interference engine, but hopefully piston did not make contact with the valve. We know what the problem is, obviously the chain, but we need to see the other end, so in order to see the other end, I'm gonna pull the plastics off. That'll be the easiest way to get to those. It's not, I don't know, it's not a huge deal, it's just kind of a pain. You gotta take this guy off, which is held on by 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. That whole thing comes off. Then this plastic comes off with just a couple retaining screws. And this cover has a couple things holding it on. I forget exactly all of it, but definitely that screw and that screw. And this wheel well is holding on to it as well. Well, it used to be, but that wheel well is broken. So that'll save me a little bit of time, I guess. I think we have to remove this. I don't remember. If we do, it used to be held on by 2 bolts. One there. Take the gas sleeve off and pull that out. Oh, and one here, but that's missing. And one here, that's still there. Man, this thing has been through the ringer. I got the body out of the way, which is a pain in the neck, and I hate doing it. You might have been able, that fender drops down right in front of this. So I'm glad I did it, I guess. We've got 2 screws that hold on the cap to what should be the cam sprocket. And there it is. I wonder if I can get the chain out through here. Oh, the tensioner's got me. Let's take out the tensioner. A couple of 8s. And then I can maneuver the chain. Ooh. Yeah, she had a bad day. But now I want to know is, does this turn? Because I worry about a bent valve or something, you know? I feel valve or spring-loaded valves in there. So this is probably okay. So I'm thinking order a new chain, tensioner gasket, crank gasket, and water pump gasket. Oh, and a cap for his coolant reservoir.
Probably need one of those.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been running around without one of those. It's not good for it. This chain is really stiff. I bet if I read the service manual, it's going to tell me to replace that gear. But you can't replace that gear, that's part of the crank. I don't know. We'll see. While I was sitting here, I noticed the cap was loose. I didn't think I did it pulling the front trim off, but it was just sitting like this. There's no way I did that. That's been loose for a while. And there is no coolant that I can see down in there.
It is bone dry.
And the radiator is completely clogged. So I'm thinking it overheated. And that is our root cause. And probably just ran. Overheated. I mean, this chain is messed up. It was probably red hot, you know? I don't smell burnt oil. But I'm sure it was just too much for it, and finally it let loose. Oh yeah, discovery. We're gonna clean that radiator out real well before we put it back together. Look at the back side of that radiator. Nothing has been coming through there. And it's just as bad, you can't really see it, but through the fan, it's just as bad, so yeah. No air has been getting through that. I'm gonna split the video right here. Ignore the fact that you can see pistons. Things have happened since I worked on this last. It got a lot deeper. I'm gonna split it here, then we'll look at it, and I'll kind of catch you up. I have more parts on order, so we'll wrap that up. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support from viewers, through Patreon, through joining the channel. Ignore my shirt. My wife had me wear it for Halloween. I just realized which one I had on. But yeah, I appreciate all the support, everything I do to this one, including this will probably be a 3-part series working on this thing, getting it running. I'll put it all in a playlist so you just have quick, easy access to it. It'll be under the Kodiak video series, which I've got the red one, so it's kind of different but the same. I'll just throw it in there so you can see what's going on. But thank you again so much for watching, and I really hope you'll join me here for another video on 3-Day Weekend.